Selecting the right fonts for projection is crucial for ensuring readability and impact in presentations. Fonts can be broadly categorized into serif and sans-serif, each with its own characteristics and suitability for different purposes. Firstly, let's discuss serif fonts. Serif fonts are characterized by small decorative strokes, called serifs, at the end of letter forms. These serifs can aid readability by guiding the eye along the line of text, especially in printed materials. However, their effectiveness in projected presentations can vary. One popular serif font is Georgia. Georgia is easy to read, especially at a distance, with clear letter forms and good spacing. Its design makes it well suited for body text in presentations. Another classic serif font is Times New Roman. Times New Roman is known for its elegance and readability. It is a versatile font that can be used for both headings and body text. Palatino is similar to Times New Roman, but with a slightly more modern feel. It offers a balanced and legible option for presentations. Garment is a serif font with a timeless and elegant design. Its classic appearance makes it suitable for formal presentations. Castellon is a serif font known for its readability and versatility. It is a well-established font choice that works well in various presentation settings. Secondly, let's consider sans-serif fonts. Sans-serif fonts lack the decorative serifs found in serif fonts. They generally have a cleaner, more modern appearance and are often favored for on-screen reading and projection. Arial is a common choice for projection due to its clean and professional appearance. Its simplicity and widespread availability make it a practical option. Helvetica is similar to Arial, but with a slightly more condensed design. Its compact form can be useful when space is limited. Heel Sans is a sans-serif font with good readability, especially for long blocks of text. It offers a balance of style and clarity. Futura is a geometric sans-serif font with a futuristic look and feel. Its distinctive design can add a modern touch to presentations. Open Sans is a free and open-source sans-serif font with excellent readability. Its accessibility and clear letter forms make it a popular choice. Thirdly, let's discuss other font options that can be considered for projecting presentations. Calibri is a relatively new font designed to be easy to read on digital displays, including projectors. Its modern design and clear letter forms make it a strong contender. Cambria is a serif font that is optimized for on-screen reading. Its design takes into account the specific challenges of displaying serif fonts on screens. Century Gothic is a sans-serif font with a modern and geometric look. Its unique style can make presentations stand out. When selecting fonts for projection, it's essential to consider several key factors. One key factor is readability. The font should be easy to read even at a distance. This means choosing fonts with clear letter forms and adequate spacing. Contrast is another key factor. The font should have a high contrast between the letters and the background. This ensures that the text is easily visible, even in brightly lit environments. Size is another important factor. Choose a font size that is large enough to be visible to the audience. Test the font size in the presentation room to ensure that it is legible from all viewing locations. Consider the purpose of the presentation and choose a font that matches its tone and style. Formal presentations may call for more traditional fonts, while creative presentations may benefit from more modern or unique fonts. In summary, selecting the right fonts for projecting presentations involves careful consideration of readability, contrast, size, and purpose. By choosing fonts that are easy to read, have good contrast, are appropriately sized, and match the presentation's tone, one can enhance the visual impact and the effectiveness of the presentation. Serif fonts like Georgia, Times New Roman, Palatino, Garamond, and Castellon offer classic and elegant options for presentations. Sans-serif fonts such as Arial, Helvetica, Gil Sans, Futura, and Open Sans provide clean and modern alternatives. Other fonts like Calibri, Cambria, and Century Gothic can also be considered for their unique characteristics. By understanding the strengths and weaknesses of different font types and considering the factors that affect readability, one can create presentations that are visually appealing and easy to understand. Choosing the right font for a presentation is a critical aspect of effective communication. The selected font significantly influences how the audience perceives the information and the overall impact of the message. Therefore, carefully evaluating various fonts and selecting the most suitable option is crucial for successful presentations. Readability is paramount. The primary goal of any presentation is to convey information clearly and effectively. Therefore, the chosen font must be easily readable from all viewing locations in the presentation room. Factors that contribute to readability include the font's letter forms, spacing, and overall design. Fonts with clear and distinct letter forms, adequate spacing between letters and words, and a balanced design are generally easier to read than fonts with complex or cluttered designs. Contrast plays a vital role in readability. The contrast between the font and the background significantly affects how easily the text can be seen. High contrast, such as black text on a white background or white text on a dark background, ensures that the text stands out and is easily visible. Low contrast, such as light gray text on a white background, can make the text difficult to read, especially in brightly lit environments. Selecting an appropriate font size is essential for visibility. The font size should be large enough to be seen clearly from all viewing locations in the presentation room. Testing the font size in the actual presentation environment is crucial to ensure that it is legible from the back of the room. Factors such as the size of the projection screen, the distance between the audience and the screen, and the lighting conditions can all affect the perceived size of the font. Matching the font to the presentation's purpose and tone is essential for maintaining consistency and enhancing the overall message. Formal presentations, such as those given in academic or professional settings, typically benefit from more traditional and conservative fonts, such as Times New Roman or Garamond. Creative presentations, such as those given in design or marketing contexts, may benefit from more modern and unique fonts, such as Future or Century Gothic. Serif fonts, with their traditional appearance and enhanced readability, are well suited for formal presentations and situations where conveying a sense of authority and trustworthiness is important. Sans-serif fonts, with their clean and modern design, are often preferred for on-screen reading and are well suited for presentations that require a contemporary and forward-thinking image. Other font options, such as script fonts or decorative fonts, can be used sparingly to add visual interest and personality to presentations. However, it's important to use these fonts judiciously and avoid overusing them, as they can distract from the message and reduce readability. When evaluating fonts, consider the specific characteristics of each font type and how they relate to the presentation's goals. Research different font options and experiment with various font combinations to find the most effective solution. Consider the audience and their expectations when selecting fonts. The font should be appropriate for the target audience and should not be distracting or offensive. Conduct thorough testing of the selected fonts in the presentation environment. This includes testing the font size, contrast, and readability from all viewing locations in the room. Obtain feedback from colleagues or peers on the font selection. A fresh perspective can help identify potential issues or areas for improvement. Ensure that the selected fonts are compatible with the presentation software and hardware being used. Incompatibility can lead to display issues and reduced readability. Maintain consistency in font usage throughout the presentation. Using too many different fonts can create a cluttered and unprofessional appearance. Consider using a limited number of fonts and sticking to a consistent style throughout the presentation. By carefully considering these factors and following these guidelines, presenters can select the most appropriate fonts for their presentations, ensuring that their message is conveyed clearly, effectively, and professionally. Remember, the font is more than just a visual element. It is a communication tool that can significantly impact the success of your presentation. Therefore, invest the time and effort necessary to select fonts that will enhance your message and engage your audience. The impact of a well-chosen font extends beyond mere aesthetics. It directly influences the audience's ability to comprehend and retain the information presented. A font that is easy to read minimizes cognitive strain, allowing the audience to focus on the content rather than struggling to decipher the text. Conversely, a poorly chosen font can create visual fatigue and hinder comprehension, diminishing the effectiveness of the presentation. The use of appropriate font sizes is paramount in ensuring readability, particularly in large venues where audience members are situated at varying distances from the screen. It is essential to conduct thorough tests to determine the optimal font size for the specific presentation environment, taking into account factors such as screen size, viewing distance, and ambient lighting conditions. Furthermore, the color contrast between the font and the background plays a crucial role in enhancing visibility. High contrast, such as black text on a white background or white text on a dark background, provides the best visibility, especially for individuals with visual impairments. Avoid using colors that are too similar, as this can make the text difficult to read. The choice of font can also significantly influence the perceived tone and style of the presentation. Serif fonts, with their traditional and elegant appearance, often convey a sense of formality and authority, making them well suited for academic or professional presentations. Sans-serif fonts, with their clean and modern lines, tend to project a more contemporary and approachable image, making them ideal for presentations aimed at a younger or more design-conscious audience. In addition to considering the overall tone and style of the presentation, it is also important to take into account the specific message being conveyed. For instance, if the presentation is focused on technical information, a clear and concise sans-serif font might be the best choice. On the other hand, if the presentation is intended to be more persuasive or emotive, a more decorative or expressive serif font might be appropriate. It is also crucial to maintain consistency in font usage throughout the presentation. Avoid using too many different fonts, as this can create a cluttered and unprofessional look. Instead, select a limited number of fonts that complement each other and use them consistently throughout the presentation. Furthermore, be mindful of the cunning and tracking of the font. Cunning refers to the spacing between individual letters, while tracking refers to the overall spacing of the font. Adjusting the kerning and tracking can improve the readability and visual appeal of the text. In addition to the technical aspects of font selection, it is also important to consider the psychological effects of different fonts. Research has shown that certain fonts can evoke specific emotions or associations. For instance, some fonts are perceived as being more trustworthy, while others are seen as being more creative or innovative. By understanding these psychological effects, presenters can choose fonts that will help them to connect with their audience on an emotional level and reinforce the message they are trying to convey. Ultimately, the best font for a presentation is one that is easy to read, visually appealing, and appropriate for the content and audience. By carefully considering all of these factors, presenters can choose fonts that will enhance their message and make their presentations more effective. Keep in mind that the selection of fonts is not a static process. It is an ongoing refinement that should be adapted to the specific needs of each presentation. As new fonts emerge and design trends evolve, it is important to stay informed and experiment with different options to find the best fit for your presentation style and audience. By paying attention to the details of font selection, presenters can elevate their presentations from ordinary to extraordinary, leaving a lasting impression on their audience and achieving their communication goals. Remember, the font is not merely a decorative element, it is an integral part of the communication process that can significantly impact the success of your presentation.